All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Minecraft Therapy. Today, I want to tell you guys a story to kind of give, set up the scene for what I want to talk about today. So, yesterday, I went to this concert. It was great. I had a great time. Shout out Ren for short. It was a great time, and it was a great show. But something um kind of interesting slash not good happened. So let me paint a scene for you guys. I show up at this concert relatively early before anyone's on, and there aren't too many people there. And when I'm at a concert, I don't really like to be have have people all up in my grill. I don't like to have I like to have space and like not be pressed up in the flesh and the craziness of a concert. You know what I mean? It's like, I liked, I know concerts are, I'm not trying to hate on like, the fun mosh pitting. Oh my God. The fun mosh pitting and like energy of a concert. But like, at least for me personally, I like to retain just some personal space, So I got to the concert and I was there pretty early. So I carved out a little space for myself, aka I just stood somewhere that was like kind of far away from everyone else. I had like, a good few feet of space around me. But then as the opener happened and then Ren for Short came on, more and more people came. And then there was this one guy who was like trying to physically box me out of my spot because all his friends were showing up and he was larger than me and he was trying to push me, like basically, yeah, like box me out of my spot by just throwing his body around and like trying to step into my personal space. And honestly, normally when I'm at a concert, I will just give up my spot when like someone starts doing that to me because I'm not here to like, I don't like having my personal space invaded. And if you're going to invade my personal space and you already crossed that boundary, I know you don't respect me. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to move because I don't want to deal with your bullshit. But yesterday, I was like, you know what? I don't want to move today. You know what I mean? What is it? It's a fucking crime for me to be somewhere and have someone invade my personal space. I was like, oh, hell no, I don't think so. So I remained very rooted. I literally did not pick up my 2 feet at all, even though this guy was like trying to swing his body at me and box me out. And I just stayed there. But it was just kind of uncomfortable because this guy, for the whole concert, this guy was trying to push me out of my spot. Like I literally did not move my entire feet the whole concert. Okay, that's a lie because that guy like tried to step on my foot like twice, so I had to move my feet then. But besides that, I did not move my feet at all. And I'm trying to become more physically aware of my body. I feel like that is something I've been trying to do and not just be like Draymond Green flopping my limbs around and just whatever. So I know for a fact that I was just like very rooted. I got there way early. I never moved the whole time. The whole time this guy was just trying to push me out of my way. Like when the concert started, he was behind me, and then by the time the concert ended, he was in front of me, and I had not moved the entire time. Anyway, this is a whole rant. I don't mean to hate on this guy too much, even though I am hating a little bit. But I just want to kind of say that because I feel like this whole thing is a very good metaphor for my life, because I feel like in my life there's always this energy that is trying to knock me off my spot, and I am trying to remain true to myself and not, just like give up who I am and like where I am just because someone wants me to. You know what I mean? I know this is being very dramatic for like a single weird, single experience at a concert. But it just gotta like it just gotta like click for me because I feel like a big theme of my life for the past maybe month has been like this concept of energy and trying not to let other people's energy push me around too much, metaphorically and literally. Because in the past I would have let him push me around, but for some reason yesterday I was just like, what, I'm not. I've had enough with the pushing me around. So I kind of want to talk today about this concept of energy and kind of how it affects my life in a few different aspects. By the way, I just need to say this. I feel like concerts are getting like so. The vibe at concerts is getting so out of pocket. Like, I feel like people are being rude at concerts, and like concerts have become this big competition to show off how big a fan you are of the artist. It's like, yo, I thought we were all here to chill out and listen to some music because we all like music. Instead, it's become this like, I don't know what, this big like situation that everyone has to like fight through at a concert. And honestly, I blame Ticketmaster and concert staff for like setting just a terrible vibe for concerts. Because what are the first two things that have to happen before you go to any concert? You have to buy tickets and you have to enter the concert venue. Well, Ticketmaster is a bunch of scammers, and concert staff for some reason are always so fucking hostile. Like, they are like, show us your fucking ticket, go through fucking security. Like, they're always so fucking hostile for some reason, and it just sets like a bad vibe for everyone as soon as they enter the building. Like, oh, like, this is what we're doing, we are being assholes tonight, and I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I feel like the concert is a good metaphor for this concept of energy that I'm trying to explain. So, like, the energy in a concert, there's a lot of energy being exerted, right? The singer or performer is exerting a lot of energy singing and doing what they're on stage, and that energy gets transferred to the audience, right? And that causes the audience to dance and sway, and the crowd moves and the crowd reacts and all that stuff. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not hating on people who dance at a concert, but this guy was like legit trying to like, push me out of my spot, even though I wanted to scream in his face, I was here first. But yeah, so at a concert, there's a lot of energy being exerted, and that energy has a real effect on people's movement and mentality and everything. You know what I mean? The energy of a concert is a real thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like that energy can be extrapolated to basically everything in life. So this next part is going to make me sound possibly crazy, but I feel like I get these glimpses where I can see the energy. Like, I'll be walking outside just randomly, like just walking, going for a nice little walk, and I'll just have these like moments where I can like see past the artifice of it all and just get a momentary glimpse into the genuine, real energy that is lying beneath the surface of this like concrete construct that we have built on this planet. And I can't really describe, it's hard for me to describe like exactly what that feeling is or what that glimpse is, which is why it possibly might make me sound crazy and like I'm just like, I don't know, like hallucinating or like just having like a mental breakdown outside or something. But like I really feel like, it doesn't happen like super often, maybe like once a month or something. But like I feel like I could see like um I could just see through it all to like the real base energy of life and living, and just seeing that there is more to life than the construct we have created around us, right? And this is kind of a hard thing that I had to, not something that came naturally to me to understand in life, I feel like, because if you know me, you know I love my fucking rules, okay? I love the fucking I love the rule of the stop sign, which is that you have to stop at the stop sign to let pedestrians cross. I love it because I'm a pedestrian who often walks my dog, and I would sure love to just cross every crosswalk without the fear of me getting run over. But that is not the way the real world works. The way the real world works is no one gives a fuck about the stop sign. You know what I mean? And I feel like the fact that no one gives a fuck about the stop sign is like the real energy of the world. You know what I mean? The artifice we've constructed is all these laws and rules that say you have to stop at a stop sign. You have to come at a full stop and look both ways for pedestrians. But the way the world actually ends up being is that no one gives a fuck about a stop sign because I don't know what, people are fucking in a rush, or they like to feel powerful in their ginormous pickup truck and bully Asian dudes walking their dogs. I don't know what, but that is the reality of the world. So the energy is not exactly practicality of the world, I would say, but the energy is what causes the world to not exactly adhere to all the laws and rules that we've set up, so that the world that creates the ideal world. You know what I mean? The energy is what causes the disconnect between us writing the Declaration of Independence and what actually happens in America. You know what I mean? I feel like the energy is like different concepts for the energy that have been like discussed throughout history are the Tao, from Taoism, or entropy. I feel like entropy is the way energy works, right? Because entropy says that things tend towards disorder, and that does seem to be the way our like systems work. Is that our politics and economic systems and cleanliness of our houses tend towards disorder. So that's another form of energy. Or the Big Bang, I feel like, is that energy manifest. You know, the Big Bang, and I have this idea that from the Big Bang, everything's happened and everything's been destined to happen from the Big Bang, and how the molecules moved in the first second after the Big Bang. And everything that's happened since then has just been stemming from the first millisecond after the Big Bang, and we're just products of that. I'm not saying there's not free will, because I like having free will, and I would rather not think about not having free will. But I think that is just concepts that might help, that might explain what I'm talking about when I say this energy thing, and not just make it sound like I'm a crazy guy, talking about energy. Yeah. I feel like the energy is the fact that we are all just monkeys, and if you try to if I try to tell my dog like these are the rules, well, he can like kind of understand the rules as a dog, but he's also a dog, you know what I mean? And if you went and tried to tell a wolf the rules or whatever, or some animal maybe that's less prone to being domesticated, so like a lion, the rules, they don't give a fuck about the rules. And they have some kind of life force within them that just pushes them to do what they want. So I feel like those things are just kind of ways that I try to understand the energy. And I feel like understanding this kind of energy in the world, sorry, I'm going to say the energy a lot in this video. So hopefully, fair warning. Hopefully that doesn't get annoying. But I feel like understanding this energy in my life. Oh God, hey, back the fuck up, random guy. Okay, this is a bad space to be in. Let's back up. I feel like energy is there's just a lot of aspects in my life concerning this kind of energy that I want to think about. So it's a loose concept, kind of hard to explain. Hopefully you guys get the gist. I feel like one of the big ways that I'm trying to understand this energy is via trying not to let other people's external energy get into my energy too much. So this would be like, at the concert, some guy is trying to exert some sort of energy on me to force me to give up my spot at the concert, which I was just not really, which I don't fuck with. And I feel like this kind of goes into other aspects of my life. Like I'm just at a point where I just can't like fucking let other people's energy into my life in a way that'll negatively affect me, or sacrifice too much of my energy to anyone else. I feel like my whole life I've been a people pleaser, and the way that, the way I understand it now with the energy is that I'm always trying to give myself up to someone's energy, or give my energy to someone else, like I just said. But people pleasing fucking sucks. People pleasing sucks to like, and it doesn't even make sense, because I feel like I am a people too, and I have every right to like have my happiness and well-being prioritized just as much as anyone else. And I just feel like I'm at a point where I can't let the external affect my internal. So another example I would give of this is that I'm a very easily influenced person when it comes to anything, really. But in a narrow sense, like the example I'll give is I'm very influenced, or at least I used to be very influenced by shit like Rotten Tomatoes, or what people on Twitter are saying about like a certain album. And like, if people didn't like an album I liked, it would like affect my own energy, and it would affect my enjoyment of the album, even though I was just felt like so like weird, I guess, and different for liking something people don't like. I'll give an example. I like Machine Gun Kelly. I've reviewed some of his albums on my channel. I like his genre sad boy shit. But for example, fucking Fantano gave genre sad boy a 0 out of 10. And in the past, something like that legitimately would have affected my enjoyment of the album. I would have been like, oh my God, am I some kind of like fucking loser who like doesn't like understand like music? I'm not cool. Everyone else is so much cooler than me. And I would just let like other people's energy influence my own happiness or enjoyment. And I'm just fucking done with that. I'm just fucking done with that because I need to be happy in life. And um I'm a good like I have to tell myself often shit like I'm a good person. Like I'm a good person. I'm like fairly intelligent. I'm like not like some evil person who's like with bad intentions, and I don't need to feel bad about liking an album or not wanting to give up my spot at a concert or you know not being available 24/7. You know, um shit like that is where I'm at now. And I feel like a big like part of that is just learning how to stay true to myself and who I am because um you know, it's hard to be yourself, guys. It's hard to be yourself because no one wants to feel like they're alone and a loser and they're crazy um and and you know, everyone wants to fit in and have friends, and it's hard to do that if um people tend to be friends with people they like, and that opens up a whole can of worms of like, well, then do I have to like change myself to be someone people like? Um, but I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm just accepting who I am, and I can't I can't fucking like not be myself. You know what I mean? I am myself, and it doesn't make sense for me to not be myself. And I feel like people in my life keep trying to project things like negative energy onto me because they're having a bad day or whatever, or like unhappy with their lives, and trying to um like be mean to me for some reason because of something that's going on in their own life. You know what I mean? Like for example, if like someone's like mean to me, if a person working at a restaurant is mean to me, I kind of know it's like not about me. It's about like they're like stressed at their job or like something in their life and they're taking it out on me. I know that because I do that myself. You know, when I feel negative energy, I want to like, you know, it affects my mood. And like when I feel bad, I'm in a bad mood. And if I interact with someone when I'm in a bad mood, I won't be as nice to them as if I was in a good mood and I won the lottery yesterday and whatever, you mean? But it's really not about, it's never about the other person. It's about me and whatever I'm dealing with in my life. So I feel like because I know that happens for me, I feel like that happens for other people too. And because of that, I can't really even blame other people too much or like act like it's their fault they're projecting their energy onto me, because ultimately I am the person in charge of my own life. So even if my cousin is being really fucking annoying to me, in some way, I am creating that annoyance for myself for my own life because I am in charge of my own life. So if I don't like that someone's being annoying to me in my life, I have to put a stop to it and figure it out. So that's just something that I've been thinking about, and like how other people's energies have been affecting me. And I feel like a lot of the time, as a people pleaser, people kind of project these roles onto me. So I have roles like I'm a son, I'm a brother, I'm a friend, I'm, uh, I'm a teacher. I'm not actually a teacher, but like people will like try to project that role of teacher onto me, or try to project the role of, I don't know, fucking bitch who gets pushed aside at a concert. uh, but I'm not fucking with anyone's roles that they're putting on me anymore. I am me, and people can try and project all the roles they want onto me that they want, but at the end of the day, I have to be in charge of my energy. Understand that there is a lot of energy going on in the world that is causing people to push their energy onto me and change my energy in some way that they want. But I have to really stay true to my energy. It is really hard. It is the fucking battle of my life, but I just got to do it. I am at the point in my life where I just got to do that shit. Yeah. So that's a big part of the energy is kind of understanding how external energy is pushing all the time on my internal energy, and trying to understand how the two interact. I guess I'm not trying to totally box out external energy, right? Because I don't think that's possible. I'm a human being. I have to talk to people, and it's not even necessarily always a bad thing to have other people's energy projected onto me. It can be inspiring, to go to the museum and see all these beautiful manifestations of people's energies into art and let their energy influence me in that respect. But I can't be at the point where it's like, oh, just because some random fucking person dislikes me or dislikes an album I enjoy, all of a sudden it's like affecting my life. That can't happen anymore. So that's that. Another aspect of energy I've been thinking about is how it relates to the question of, am I destined to always be who I've always been? Because I feel like a lot of who I am is sort of built into this momentum of who I've always been. I've been a certain person I was a certain person for the first 18 years of my life, even though I would define that as my childhood. And, the first 18 years of my life is way bigger than the next, 8 years of my adulthood. So a big foundation of who I am is built on my childhood. And a big part of who I am is who I was as a child. But now I'm not a child, you know what I mean? And I'm trying to figure out how that fits into my life, and how the energy of who I am is changing. And is it possible for me to be someone else? And as I say that out loud, I guess the thought is that I am who I've always been. I mean, yeah. The cliche answer I would give you is, you are who you always have been, but you also have the capacity to change, and you're probably just changing little by little every day and becoming someone new. Sure, that makes sense, I guess. But I feel like I want to make this big leap into the new me. Like, I have this thought occasionally about moving to a new city and just totally reinventing my personality, and like going and just where no one knows me, and like no one knows that I've been introverted my whole life, and just become like this extroverted, totally different person, maybe not become like an extroverted person, you know what I mean? But just become a totally new person. But then I'll think about it more, and I'll think, 99.99999% of the people in New York have no idea who I am or who I've been in the past. And if I just like decided tomorrow to be a different person, those people wouldn't know that I was being a new person because they didn't know the old me. They just think like, oh, that's me. So it makes me think about why I can't just change tomorrow. If I want to change and I feel like, being put in a new environment would give me the space to change, why can't I change now? Because I guess the answer is that it's not really the environment that's holding me back from changing. It's me. I gotta change. And I guess it's just trying to hold on to the balance between the two. There's this song by Lainey Wilson I've been listening to a lot recently called Out of Oklahoma. And the first line is, I've been driving, something like I've been driving, trying to stay between the lines of who I am and who I used to be. And I really feel like that. I'm trying to like just stay like I was saying in the first part of this video, I'm trying to like stay true to myself and be myself. But also who I am is not who I used to be. And that is just very different. There's that the Kanye West song, I Love Kanye. I miss the old Kanye, straight from the soul Kanye. I feel that about me. It's like, I miss the old introverted badness, straight from the soul introverted badness. Post every week introverted badness. Pull out the green screen introverted badness. You know what I mean? But I'm a different person. And I guess, that little rant was kind of about how maybe my content on this channel is changing. But on a much deeper level, who I am as a person is changing. And maybe that is why the stuff on this channel is maybe changing a little bit. Or hopefully will be changing a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I've just been trying to figure out how to balance who I am and who I used to be. And it's not easy. I don't have the blueprint on how to do it. But some things I've been doing recently one thing I've been doing recently is throwing a lot of shit out. I have been throwing out so much shit from college and high school that was just sitting around for no reason, and I was just like holding on to it because like I had the thought that I was going to show it to my grandchildren one day and like show them, who I was and blah, 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 blah. But it was like, no, like I don't, like this shit holds no place in my life anymore. And I just need to throw it out so that new stuff can fill the void. So that I could have space for some cool new decor instead of all this random crap from the past in my life. So that goes for the physical, throwing stuff out physically so I have more space. But I think it also goes like internally. I have to like throw out the parts of me. Maybe not throw out, but just like I have to make room inside me. Maybe it is throw out. I have to throw out the parts of me that don't like fit who I am anymore so that there's room inside me to fill the void of like what just let stuff fill that void. And it's scary to like leap into that unknown and into that void because you don't know what the fuck is going to take up that space, but it's got to be done. An example I would use is video games because I feel like over my whole life, I've spent a lot of time playing video games, and I kind of got to a point where I was like, I just kind of need to give this up because it's not fitting into my life anymore. But it's scary because playing video games is a big comfort to me. I mean, I'm fucking playing Minecraft right now. It's a big comfort to me. And it's scary to think about, well, if I'm not playing video games for like, if I play video games for 10 hours a week, it's very comforting. And then if I don't play video games for 10 hours a week, all of a sudden there's like 10 empty hours in my week. But that's also very exciting for me because, it's not like I was super enjoying my life when I was playing video games 10 hours a week. It was kind of just like, oh, this is what I've always done. It's been very comforting to me my whole life. And I'll just keep doing it because it's what I know. And it's easier than trying to, like, I don't know, leap into the unknown and all of a sudden have like all this free time that I literally don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with. But I think it's good to like leap into the unknown and kind of throw that aspect of myself out, or at least reduce it a lot, because I feel like I have been spending a lot more time touching grass and going outside and like I haven't figured out exactly all the new stuff I'm going to do in my life, but all of a sudden I feel like I have all this time to figure out what else I want to do in my life. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I was holding on to video games so hard. Now I have 10 hours to think about what I'm going to do besides play video games. And I think that is good for me. I think that's good for me. I guess another reason I'm afraid to change is because I feel like if I change too much, I'm going to lose some authenticity of who I am. And I don't want to become, I don't want to let my energy be totally transformed by other people and change who I am to please other people. I want to change who I am for me, and I want to remain true to myself, like I was saying before. So I guess what I'm trying to do is just figure out what parts of me need to stay and what parts need to go. I guess it's really, I try to make it complicated, but I guess it really is just that. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't mean that the parts of me that I'm throwing out are bad. It just means it doesn't serve me anymore. The Marie Kondo method says that when you throw stuff out, it's not because it's useless or you hate it. It's because the use it served in your life is coming to an end. And that means you have to just get rid of it so you can make room for more things you love. And I think that that applies to cleaning up your apartment, and that applies to your entire motherfucking life. And, I think part of it also is just being grateful for my past too, and things that have happened to me in the past. Merlyn Wood from Brockhampton, he says in Milk, shit happened how it happened, so the past is perfect. And I believe that because that's the energy I'm talking about. That's the energy from the Big Bang. You know what I mean? The Big Bang just happened one day, and ever since that day, that hydrogen happened to move at a 35.4 degree angle southwards instead of a 35.5 degree angle southwards. Ever since then, we've been on a collision course with destiny, and shit happened how it happened, so the past is perfect. So I'm just trying to understand that and grow into the person I am now, and also remain true to myself. And I guess on that note, something I've been trying to practice with that is Wu Wei. I greatly mispronounced that. Let's try that again. Wu Wei. Let's try it one more time. Wu Wei. All right, that's enough of that. So Wu Wei is this concept. Now I'm just going to butcher it for the rest of the video. Okay, so Wu Wei is this concept from Taoism that I'm probably going to butcher this too. I am not some kind of Taoist monk expert on Taoism. Okay, I read the Tao Te Ching like twice or 1.5 times, and this is my interpretation of it. But I would say Wu Wei is basically, um, in a very simple way that you can understand, it's going with the flow. But it's much more than going with the flow. It's going with the flow in a way that you do nothing almost and just go with the energy of the world. And by doing that, you can actually uh, have better outcomes and like better just be in touch with the universe and like who you are and everything by going with this energy instead of trying to fight it. So I feel like I've had a lot of physical examples of this pop up in my life recently. So I was like on some swings recently with a friend, and I haven't swung on a swing in a really long time, and I was having a really hard time swing on this swing. And I realized the reason I was having a hard time swinging is because I was holding on to the what do you fucking call them? The chains on the swing, I was holding on to the chains of the swing so hard and not going with like my natural kinetic energy of the swing, of the pendulum, of the swing. I was trying to, when the swing would push me forward, I would be like, I was legit scared I was gonna like fly off the swing. So I would grip onto those chains, but by gripping onto the chains, I'm slowing down my kinetic energy, and then like I couldn't swing more than like fucking like 6 inches. You know what I mean? But then I realized that the way to swing was I had to let go of the chain, let go of my fear of falling off the fucking swing, and just go with the energy of the swing and flow with it. And then like literally as soon as like I made that mental switch, I started like swinging like way better. I started actually swinging instead of fucking like rocking back and forth like I was before. And that just kind of made something click in my head where I realized I have to go with the energy. Another example I would use is running downhill. So in this cross-country race in high school, I was running downhill, and I tried to like not run super fast downhill because I felt like running too fast downhill would exert too much energy, and I still had like it was like a fucking 5K or something. So I was like, I need to like conserve energy. But I realized, because I've been running recently too, and I've been running downhill sometimes, and I realized that it actually takes more energy to slow down running downhill than just go with gravity. And gravity is pulling you downhill and making you faster. And if you just go with that, it actually takes less. You're actually using less energy to go faster than if you try to slow down, which actually requires energy for you to fight gravity. So that was another thing that like kind of made this energy thing click for me. And I guess I've been trying to apply that to my mental, spiritual, whatever life, and kind of just realized that it's harder for me to force myself to do stuff because that's the way I want it to be, than accept things the way they are and accept that they're that way, and I kind of just have to, in some respect, just go with it, which I feel like is a very non-American way of thinking, because we like to think that the world is your oyster and you have to go out there and make your fortune and make the world your own. And like, if you want something, you gotta grab the world, you gotta seize the day and just take what's yours. And I feel like it's been kind of why am I running around in the dark? This is why I die every episode. It's kind of going with that. It's kind of it's been hard for me to kind of relearn that it's easier for me to do things when I feel like I have the energy and go with my own energy than try to force myself to be some kind of energy I'm not. So the example I would give is I last year I was like really on my ass about YouTube. And I was like trying to force myself to really clock into YouTube, quote unquote, clock into my YouTube job at 9 a.m. and clock out at 5 p.m. exactly. And like just like force myself to do that because I felt like that is what I wanted almost. I wanted to like I wanted to prove to everyone that I had a job. And this is kind of the energy that's being projected on me too, I feel like, because people in my life, I feel like, what do they think? I feel like people project like something, people like are so worried about me, maybe not worried, but like they want me to exactly treat YouTube like a job because I don't know why, but I feel like people do that a lot. My parents do that, for example, and I love my parents, but like, they want me to treat YouTube exactly like a 9 to 5 job. I don't know why, because that's what they want from me. That's their own energy. I can't try and figure out other people's energy for them. Look at this beautiful meadow. Maybe, you know what? Let's build a house here. This is such a beautiful meadow. But yeah, I can't. Yeah, I was trying to force YouTube to be this job, and then I realized that doesn't work for me. The exactly 9 to 5 thing. Maybe I want to work 2 hours in the morning, 5 hours at night, or maybe one day I just want to work for half an hour. Recording a Minecraft therapy. It doesn't take super long to record a Minecraft therapy. And that could just be the thing I do for a day. You know what I mean? Take an hour to record a Minecraft therapy. But I would have this guilt, I guess, that I wasn't like working hard enough. And I would try to force myself to work more. And then in the process of trying to force myself to work more, I was actually working way less. You can see this because there was this big gap in time last year when I did not post any videos. And ironically, it was because I was trying so hard to post a video. So, yeah, I'm at the point where I'm just trying to be more intuitive about my energy, about who I am, about my life, and just listen to my intuition and trust it. And it's scary for me because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of how I was raised, in this like a combination of being raised Asian, and I went to a very STEM focused high school and college, and all that stuff makes you think that talking about stuff like energy makes you like some kind of hippie who's like not in touch with like the real world. And people roll your eyes at you when you talk about the energy, and you're just like some crazy person. But the energy is real, guys. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but y'all got to get on this wave because it's real, and it's real whether you believe it or not. So that's that. But yeah, I guess for me, I guess it's really just about not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? If other people want to project some sort of energy on me or push me to be some sort of way, or even not giving a fuck about myself, you know what I mean? Like not taking myself too seriously and like worrying about too much about who I used to be, and just like kind of letting change happen to me, and not even trying to force change to happen to me. Maybe I don't need to change into a totally new person right away, and I'm okay with that. And I'm trying to get in touch with my natural, like, I feel like I have this natural connection to the energy of the world, of the universe, and like, it doesn't happen all the time. I don't have it all the time. It's like so brief when that connection happens. But when it happens, I just feel it, and it like comes and goes like the wind. And when that happens, I just know that I have to keep, I know there's a way forward, and I just have to keep moving forward and going forward and doing it the best I know how, by going with the energy and just understanding the energy and working with the energy and not trying to fight it. That's where my intuition comes in. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about for the last month, the last year, maybe my whole life, I guess. I've been trying to think about this and understand how it fits into my life. But hopefully that made sense, or at least like 10% of that made sense. Yeah. I think the energy is different for everyone. So like, I call it the energy. You might call it like something else. The Tao, maybe it has something to do with religion for you. It doesn't have to. It could be anything for you. I'm not saying it has to be like, I feel like this is like a religion adjacent thing, but I don't think it has to be religious. And I feel like it's different for everyone because, we all have our own natural connections to the universe. You know what I mean? We are all cosmic dust, briefly put together for a moment in this human form, aware of ourselves. We are the universe, aware of ourselves. And because of that, that means you have some sort of connection to the energy of the universe. And I would encourage you all to think about that. It doesn't have to be the way I'm talking about it. I would encourage you all to like think about, how it is in your own life. And maybe you don't want to think about it, which is fine. That's how it manifests in your own life, is that you don't want to think about it or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just saying, take what you will from what I'm saying, because this is how I feel, and I'm not trying to force anyone to think what I think. This is just what I think. All right. Look at us. We're laying the foundation for our house. I think that's all I got to say. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's September is going swell. In a few days, we'll be body yachting through September. So, yeah. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope y'all feel the energy, are in touch with your own energies, and I'll catch you next time. All right. Stay safe, stay sane. I'll repeat it again. I'll catch you next time. All right. Peace.